Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, no, it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas! Happy Christmas! God Jewel!
I already got a present, Noah.
I know! I gave it to you!
Really?
Yes, I did.
It's very soft. Wonder what it is.
Okay, so, for those who are just joining in because of the Christmas special, I got him a gift. Let's see what it is. He's gonna open it on the podcast right now.
Alright. Welcome to... This is an audio unboxing podcast. That's what you just get to hear the sound of the tape ripping. Alright, there goes Noah's note. I just threw that in the trash. I don't need that anymore. Oh, I'm opening the package. Oh man, would you look at these? Oh wow. In the package they looked black when I first got them, but yeah, no. In this light, it's very clear that they're navy blue. I'd almost say they're an indigo color.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Holding them out in front of me, design instantly screams like grandma sweater. But the fact of the matter is, they're leg warmers. So I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna put them on. This is what they sound like when they rub together. They look like scratchy sweater material, but they're actually quite smooth. What are they made out of? It's polyester.
Beats me. I just bought them
Hold
on
on.
the internet.
Keep the bag away from babies and children. Don't use in cribs and beds. Dang, I was gonna raise my kid with this. Solid winter cables. Navy. All right. I don't know. Who cares? Actually, I do care. I'm gonna take my socks off too, because why would you wear socks with leg warmers? I'm gonna wear my leg warmers with sandals.
So, for some backstory, a while ago we started a segment called Segmented on the Street, and one of the questions that we asked random people on the street was, how do you feel about leg warmers, or what are your opinions on leg warmers? And Tendo actually didn't know what leg warmers are. I showed him some pictures, and he was like, these are the most amazing things ever. I want some. So now, 2 months later, it is finally coming to fruition, and here is his wish.
Okay, I'm gonna put them on now. I made the mistake of wearing long pants though, because where I record, it's freezing. So I mean, I don't know. Should I go put on some cooler pants, that way I can actually wear the leg warmers the whole podcast?
I mean, yeah, sure.
All right, I'm gonna go do that. That way I can do a proper review. Woo! All right, I'm back.
Okay, and you're wearing shorter pants, also known as shorts?
All right, here we go. Got the leg warmers.
Let's see if they warm your legs.
Oh, actually putting them on, they aren't as comfortable as they feel on the outside.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are they really tight?
Yeah, up on my upper ankles. They're not tight, but...
I'm so sorry. You could always...
No, it's all right.
Snip them or put them... You're going to have to break them in.
I will. That's just how they are. They're new, but they seem stretchy.
Yeah.
This way I can also show off my the glorious shape of my calves. Wow, these
kind of underwhelming.
No, I actually quite like them. Actually, seeing them on me, I like them a lot more. I'm
wow!
Just trying to think of.
I'm surprised.
I'm trying to imagine a full outfit with me wearing these, like from an aesthetic position, which is the reason why I wanted them. Man, I need to go out in public with these.
Yes, you should wear those every time we do Segmented on the Street. It's like,
okay,
it's like you're at school and people see you have your leg warmers on, and they're like, "Oh, Tendo's doing that one segment for his podcast again."
Well, here's I'm not worried about. I mean, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, what a weirdo." They're gonna be like, "Whoa, nice leg warmers." I never thought of that.
That's because you should never wear leg warmers, because leg warmers are awful. But if you like them, I'm glad, and you should definitely send me pictures whenever you can.
I will.
Okay, cool.
My ankles are going to be so warm for the rest of the podcast.
Yes, at the very end of the podcast, we will give you a review, or a final review after wearing them for over an hour. So,
we'll see.
We'll see. This episode is going to be less segmented and more free-flowing conversation, because there's a lot of segments that we could have done, like researched other traditions, but there's so many weird traditions out there and so many other shows that do this, including podcasts, that I don't think it would be really interesting. And so we're just going to talk about our personal experiences with Christmas and maybe some of our traditions and see where that takes us. Cause,
yeah, just kind of opinionated, you know.
Yeah. And so you guys can join us along. Come with us.
Come on a wonderful Christmas adventure with us.
Yes. That's it. That's what this episode is going to be called. Our Christmas adventure or the Christmas adventure. Something along the lines of that. Join us on our Christmas adventure through the winter wonderland.
Of rambling.
On Christmas related things.
Okay, this time we have a focus.
At least we start with a focus and then we start rambling. And now we're rambling about rambling in general. So we're going to start the conversation with talking about our traditions. Like, what do our families do, or what do our, just, I don't know, us personally do during Christmas?
Well, I guess the first one to ask, because we live in the U.S., is presents. How do you do the presents? Are you traditional? You know, do you get them from all your family members? Do you get them from friends? Do you open them on Christmas? Do you open them when you get them, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I guess give your take on that, and then I can give mine.
Okay, so basically every year we have this thing called Christmas, and that's when our immediate family comes over, and we do stockings in the morning, and then we don't normally eat like a big dinner or anything. We usually just eat lunch, and then everyone goes home. But we do presents then, and then sometimes it's ordered by age, sometimes it's grab a present and we'll open it in the circle that we sit in. Sometimes it's the name of the person, like alphabetically. Sometimes it's backwards alphabetically. Sometimes it's by height. It really depends, whatever we're feeling like doing. But it's always one person at a time opening gifts, because I think that's the best way to do it.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, and then, so we don't do like a big dinner or anything on Christmas Day. Christmas Eve is normally where we help out at like our churches, because most churches around here especially have like Christmas Eve services, so we help out with that, and we don't really do anything with that. Sometimes we do stuff with my cousins and other people, but that's not really a day that we do things for ourselves. Christmas Eve, which is the 23rd, we have my mother's side come over to our house, and we have gifts and dinner and dessert there with that side of the family. So,
you're pretty consistent. See,
yes.
For me, it's this is the first year I've ever gotten a stocking, and that was because someone close to me just kind of gave it to me as a gag gift. It's this goofy stocking. I'm not using it, but that was like never a thing for me, which I'm fine
I kind
with.
of gave you stockings, but they don't actually have the feet.
Hey, you can put candy in them and they just fall right through. It's a prank. For me, when I have like immediate like family like get-togethers for Christmas, it's different like every year. It always changes. It's always depending on what the year's like. And sometimes it'll be like a whole day. Sometimes it'll just be like an afternoon or an evening. Usually presents are very minimal as far as relation goes. Usually there's like grandparents give, one thing to all, grandchildren or something like that. Mm-hmm. And, usually in like my, my nuclear family, like my parents and whatnot, we'll have like, one exchange between, each person. So everyone will have like one gift or something like that. And that's usually on Christmas. Sometimes we just don't do it. I don't know. It's at the point where I'm at the age, and my family's at the age where it's just like, here's money, because, you kind of have everything you want and you need, and if we gave you anything, you'd probably just throw it away.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's reasonable.
Which is fine. I guess the real, whatever you want to call it, the Christmas spirit or whatever in the family is just like, being together and not doing anything for Christmas Day. And
normally we
Christmas
just
Eve.
hang out and play games the whole day, because we don't normally hang out and play games. So
right, that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice, and we have a lot of games that we don't play because we
Well,
don't.
it sounds like you got a lot of board games on your hands, and I don't think you get through all of them.
I've gotten 2 more since last we've talked. So about
Ooh.
games, I mean. So that's fun. Oh, also Time Barons. Remember when I mentioned Time Barons and it's like my favorite game? They finally got published. It's now officially published. I bought the full-fledged version. It's great. It has an expansion that's 50 new cards. Oh my gosh. And it's a 4-player version now. I just wanted to mention that. For those who are listeners of the previous podcast that we did a whole gaming special, episode 8. It's awful, but if you want, you can go listen to it. Link in the description, show notes. But there's a game that I mentioned, a tabletop game called Time Barons, and it's a fun strategy game. And I talked about how it was just a print and play game, but now it's an official game. Highly suggest buying it. It's $25. And you can buy that at your local game store. This is not a paid advertisement. I just really love this game. So, yes, it's now a 4-player version. So, Tendo, next time we meet, we will have to play that. What are other things that we have to do? I don't remember. I've said a lot of things on the podcast, like we need to do X. Also, right, we need to watch Hunt for the Wilder People. That too.
Yes.
And Fight Club. We need to watch Fight Club.
Yes. There's a lot of things we need to do, and we'll do it. We'll do it live on the show.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We'll do a live watch along. What if we did a Fight Club commentary?
An audio watch along.
Yeah, have you ever heard of those? People actually do them.
Oh, where they just play the movie and they just commentate?
Yeah, they commentate over it, and then it's audio that you play to accommodate with the scenes. So you have commentary going at the same time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then you could then bring up, you could accompany the film like in video form or something. But for me, just like
no, that's illegal.
No, I
you mean the listener would do that?
Like yes, you would like. Well, no, not the listener. I was thinking like a review, like a commentary you show, and if you're technically reviewing it, you're adding something different. It's whatever. Either way, I don't want to do it. I want to enjoy the film.
Yeah, I know. We won't do that, but people do in fact do that. So.
All right.
I was just mentioning that is a thing. We won't do that. We will just watch it together, and it'll be fun. And I don't know, but we should. I don't know. Next time we meet each other in real life, we're definitely going to do a live episode, because why not?
That's actually a really good idea, yeah.
Yes, it is a great idea. I know, and perfect.
We can use my internet that is far superior.
Whatever.
No offense. You know your internet is terrible.
My internet sucks, and it's awful, and I'm currently running off my hotspot just so this actually runs kind of smoothly.
Whoa.
So,
it sounds great. And
that's because my microphone's really good, but internet.
Well, we're also using Discord now. Sponsor.
Oh my, yes. Go to discord.com/segmentedfm to get $500 off your first free server.
That's right. Forgot about that. It's a little Christmas present from us to you.
From Discord to you.
Right. From Discord to you. From us to Discord to them.
Yes, it's very convoluted. Anyway,
speaking
Christmas.
of that, I was gonna ask, while we're talking about that, like Christmas related like deals and like specials, and when stores try to do something like that every single year. To me, that just seems like if you're doing it every year at the same time, you can't actually be like giving them an advantage, because they're always gonna know it's coming. They're always gonna know what it's like. It just seems boring and like just a grab at like the Christmas spirit that is capitalism.
Well, yes, I think it's kind of a basic unfortunate truth that Christmas was created by commercialism, but that's okay.
That's all right.
It's fine. Actually, what's really interesting is that around Christmas time, Americans are happier. It's the happiest time where like people are the most happy around Christmas, which makes sense, I guess. But
yeah, I guess it's good.
Yeah, I think they like surveyed a bunch of people like every month or something. I don't know how they did the survey, but they probably surveyed them like every time of the day or the year, and then measured like their happiness. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your happiness right now? I think that's how they did it.
I guess I could say the same. I can recall few like Decembers and Januaries where they've just been the worst.
Yeah.
Of almost any other month, I can be like, I've had years where that month was the worst. It was terrible. But I don't think I can recall one where the Christmas time or the Christmas season was the worst time. So I guess I can say I've never had a bad Christmas season. So yeah, as a generalization, you could say it's the happiest time of year.
Yeah, and also I get off of school and I have winter break during Christmas time, which makes me happy because it's not a huge break from school like summer, so it's just miserable. But it's also this small little pocket of time where I can do a bunch of things. So.
I think a lot of people, at least I know in my area and in my school system, are of the opinion that breaks the size of like 2 or 3 weeks are really pleasant.
Yeah.
Because then you just get to that critical like high of having a break from that, and then you get back to it.
Yep.
And it stinks the first few days. But then you like it again, and you're glad that you're back to it.
Yeah.
And then there's periods of, when you have work or school that's too long, and then you have, either breaks that are too short, or like you said, summer break, which I can't say that for my last summer, but for many summers, yeah, it feels too long. There's a point in which it's like I've wasted my time, or like I'm not using my time well enough, at least is like my problem, because I'm like, I have so much time, I have to, build this great thing, now that I don't have this 8-hour obligation every day,
Yeah,
but
I'd much rather have like 10 2-week breaks than a summer break, because
that'd be nice.
Spreading things out into more quantities is definitely a better way to do that.
Right.
Like,
and you could
but
have
also
year-round school like some countries.
Yes, actually, yeah, in Japan, where my sister is currently teaching, they have school all year round. So I don't know if I would want that. I think like a month break would be good, but 3 months is a lot to just break from school, because after summer was over, I forgot almost all the math I learned, and it's very saddening to me.
Yeah, I think so. I know what you mean.
But I think having a Christmas break is great, and for students especially, I think it's makes sense why they would be happier at this time of year. So
yeah, I think it's attributed to it. Having like school during the time of Christmas, I can see being stressful and whatnot.
Yeah.
I still have school for a while yet, but that's all right. That's just
fine.
How I roll.
No, it's how your school system rolls.
No, I could just decide not to go.
I guess you're right.
It's always an option. Just like there's always an option to, go swimming in a volcano. I was going to ask about food, because you said you don't normally do like a big like Christmas.
Oh, yeah. No. We usually do Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve with the other parent or the other family. And then my dad's side, they always have their own little thing, and we don't usually go to that because we spend more time with just my siblings, and now this year my siblings plus my brother-in-laws. That'll be cool.
Woo.
Yeah, this is the first year with them because they both got married this year. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So basically, it's just my siblings and such. They come over, and then we do presents in the morning, and then we have lunch and play games and stuff. And Christmas Eve is when everyone brings their food, and my mother's family, they come over, and then we eat dinner there. And one major treat is my aunt always makes a chocolate eclair, and it's amazing and super delicious.
Oh, I've never had that.
It's so good. Great. She has her own personal recipe, and it's a secret family recipe, so I don't know it. Only my second oldest sister does, and she hasn't told any of us. So
secret.
Yes, it's a family recipe. So, but she's really good at making it.
My secret family recipe, it's called a little bit of a spam and cheese. Most people don't know what it's made out of.
Is it made out of cheese and spam?
No, it's not actually.
Oh, whoa!
I normally don't tell this to people, but it's actually made with Spam and cheese.
Oh,
Instead.
okay, that actually makes more
Right.
sense than
Yeah.
cheese and Spam. Sorry. But
Anyway,
what kind of cheese and what kind of Spam?
cheese? Oh, dude. Can't go anywhere else except for Monterey Jack. Monterey
Ooh.
Jack is impossible to beat. I'm sorry. I like maybe some cheese, but I like spice and jalapenos even more. When you mix them, it's just, gosh, I love it. I could just live off of that stuff. I practically already live off of cheese and bread, which isn't great for me, but I don't have any problems. The pros outweigh the cons.
So do you use the jalapeno spicy Spam? Because that exists.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that existed. I saw
Yeah.
Spam singles the other day, and I saw Spam light.
Oh.
But there's spicy Spam?
Yeah, there's so many types of Spam. If you go to the Spam website, I don't know if it's spam.com or not, but I'm going to spam.com. That's not what I want. So.
I'm gonna look this up.
Oh, it is spam.com.
Yeah, spam.com. Wow.
There's a Spam museum. Oh, there's Spam bacon.
I see turkey.
Tater tot casserole is a recipe that you can see on spam.com.
Hickory soup.
Spam
Hot and
sushi.
spicy. Jalapeno, there it is.
Yep.
Teriyaki, is that sushi? Are they
Yeah.
inferring you're using your Spam on sushi?
There's so many different types of sushi. So, yeah.
Portuguese sausage. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's so many. This is not sponsored by Spam. I personally do not like Spam. However, Tendo really likes it. I don't know why, but like, we tried it on episode. I think that was episode 7.
Ooh.
So if you
I'm
want to
sorry.
go listen to the episode where we eat Spam for the first time and I throw up literally, go to episode 7 of this podcast and enjoy.
Please tell me a vegan Spam recipe exists out there.
Oh my.
There's a few. None of them look very promising, but
I'm looking up tofu Spam. It does exist. Oh my, that's ridiculous. Okay,
that's
back
what I
to
want for Christmas. Yeah.
back to
sorry?
Christmas traditions.
Mm-hmm.
So she makes an eclair, and it's delicious. My aunt does, and then also another classic is green bean casserole, which I absolutely love.
Hey, me too.
And oftentimes we have crab crepes if we can get our hands on some crab for a decent price.
Ooh.
Okay. So what kind of foods do you guys eat? Like desserts or otherwise?
Usually, like if it's like at home with just, my closest family, it's like we just snack or just eat terrible food. Or eat almost no food, but like out, going with immediate family, grandparents, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like just similar to Thanksgiving comfort food, potato based stuff.
Potatoes.
What meat dishes will always vary. Usually lots of pies, always, relish vegetables. Green bean casserole is a constant.
Love
Yeah.
green bean casserole.
It's usually pretty different every time, if I'm being honest. Nothing set in stone that's like, oh man, I'm looking forward to that for Christmas. Except there is one thing that I always make every Christmas, at least the last 3 Christmases, is good old saturated fat almond bark like pretzels, or just almond bark dipped anything. I'll dip crackers in there. I'll dip like fruit, anything. Just melt that stuff up, dip it in there. Boom. Now it's gonna clog your arteries. It's kind of
What's almond bark?
almond bark.
Yeah.
With essentially, you can think of it as you just say it's like chocolate. If you saw chocolate almond bark, a lot of times
I know what like peppermint bark is, because peppermint bark's like white chocolate and there's peppermint chunks in it.
I used
Is
to
it similar to that, but with almonds?
know what it was. Yeah, I believe it's something like that. I think that's just like the base for the mixture, because it's meant for melting and topping. So whenever you have chocolate covered strawberries, usually that's chocolate almond bark.
Oh, okay.
Or same with pretzels or anything like that. Because in order for it to be solid at room temperature, but easily heatable into a liquid. It's got to be, you know, like the proper mixture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so they come in like bricks that are about an inch by 2 inches, and you just toss them in a pan. You get them slightly hot and they just melt.
Yeah.
And then you set them on a pan and they instantly solidify, which makes you wonder what they do inside of your body. But no.
So you just...
I love sweet and salty. So like chocolate covered, like, or like vanilla flavored.
Salted pretzels?
Pretzels, yeah, salted pretzels. I love them.
Okay. Like the little ones? Little pretzels?
Yeah. Sometimes like the big old sticks. Done that too.
Have you ever taken like those pretzels and put a Rolo on them and squash them down?
I have never heard of that, but that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, for those who are listening and don't know what a Rolo is, it's like a candy that's filled with caramel.
What's on the outside
How else
then?
would I explain it? Sorry. It's covered in chocolate and it has like caramel on the inside.
I got it. I thought it was just like a solid thing of sugar with caramel in them. No.
Yeah, no. If it's no. Wait, you've had Rolos before,
yes,
right?
I've had Rolos.
Okay. I guess they're kind of good. They usually come in like a roll.
Yeah, their shape is strange. It's like a cylindrical trapezoid, like a cone with any tip cut off, an upside down cup kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange. I've had them on very few occasions.
Yeah, they're kind of odd. I'm
wondering if it's
just
kind of
Google
an
it.
American thing.
Rolo. I think it is an American thing, but I'm not positive.
I know very little of them, and I'm an American, but I've only heard of them in America. I know with lots of larger like candy companies, it's worldwide kind of thing, but maybe that's like our equivalent to, gosh, what was all the Australian stuff we were talking about?
Tim Tams?
Tim Tams.
Yes.
Tim Tams.
So your Christmases are immensely laid back.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, they're really laid back. It's not that there's no large focus on them. I think it's just because everyone's so spread out, and I think it's just kind of everyone's so busy. They've just gotten into the groove of having their own lives and then just kind of fitting it in there rather than making it this. Yeah, maybe I guess it's just not as big of a deal with my Christmases, but I can guarantee you anyone else, you know, in my area is going to have a completely different story. Everyone's Christmas is always very different because it's going to vary.
It's really interesting.
Depending on basically every single family member and, you know, what they've been doing for years. And then as the family changes, it'll change again. So
yeah. And there's a family that I know, and this isn't a Christmas tradition of theirs, but it's a New Year's tradition where there's a place in their house that's like a entranceway, and they have to hop on one leg while eating a creamsicle.
Okay.
So that's like while the year switches into the next year, their whole family has to be underneath that, like all the kids, jumping on one leg, eating a creamsicle.
Oh my goodness. That is a beautiful tradition. I need to start something as ridiculous as that.
Yeah. It's ridiculous and amazing, and I didn't know what it was, so like when it was posted on Facebook, I was like, what are you doing? And then I realized that it's their tradition, which I think is actually really cool. But like when I have a family of my own, I want to start absolutely ridiculous traditions like that. Things that don't make sense. Like traditions like for what I have, it's the way that we present the gifts. That's like a tradition, I guess. It's not like set in stone. But this creamsicle thing is so set in stone, and it's so out there that it's not just like a thing that normal people do.
Right.
But I don't know. I think that would be really fun to do with when I have my own family.
I like that. I like that idea. I'll join you if necessary. Either I'll come over to your house every like New Year's or Christmas.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Because I'll be sad. I won't have a family. I'll be like,
"Aw,
our podcast never took off." Just living on the
Tendo,
streets outside your apartment. No, I'm joking.
That's so sad.
I know it's a sad
I'm
image.
patting you on your back.
Don't worry. You don't need to pat me on the back. I'm fine. I'll be able to buy all the creamsicles I want by myself.
Oh gosh. You can have all the creamsicles and all of the entranceways that you want. Hopefully you'll have both your legs, so you can still hop on
well,
one.
yeah. Otherwise, it's not a tradition. That's just how I get around. That's mean. To no one in particular.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, that would be mean to people who don't have legs. I feel really bad now.
If I lose a leg, no, you can make fun of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the podcast though.
Only on the podcast?
I mean, you can make fun of me outside of it. I just prefer just on the podcast, because I don't know. I'd probably be sensitive about it. Probably, as much as I say I wouldn't be.
I don't know. I'd like to see what happens if I lose a leg.
Let's just not.
Wait, no, I wouldn't.
Let's not assume that that's gonna happen. Let's not like be like, I wonder what's gonna happen. I have some ideas of what I can do.
Wow. This is an interesting conversation.
Make
for
some
Christmas
great
special.
Halloween costumes, I'll tell you that much. So intense.
You could be Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump, but you only lost one leg.
No, the joke is you're a zombie and you lose your leg every time you come to someone's store.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. There's actually there's a guy on the internet who he lost his legs, unfortunately, both of them, but every year he's like a zombie that's like a crawler, and he runs after people because he's learned how to get around.
Yeah, I bet
fast
he's
without
really
legs.
good at that. Oh my gosh, that's okay. Not only is that clever and show a lot of self-awareness and like self-respect, that sounds terrifying.
Yes, it's amazing, and I forget who it was, but it's that's the best way to make something good out of something.
Gosh, yeah, it'd
terrifying.
take some
Bad.
guts for me to pull that much humor out of something so tragic. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
I don't
have
think
mad respect for him.
I don't think anyone wants to lose their legs for Christmas.
Yeah, no. Halloween perhaps, but
I know what I'm getting Noah for Halloween next year.
you're gonna get me a bone saw.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll cut off my legs for the podcast. I'll do it on the podcast
No.
if we get to $1,000 on Patreon. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Listen here, folks. If we get $10,000 on Patreon, I am going to cut my legs off.
Patreon.com/segmentedfm.
I'll do it. Don't test me. Oh, well then. Was there any other traditions? I wanted to
Well,
talk about
actually,
now.
in regards to like the creamsicle thing, do you have any traditions for like New Year's and
New
stuff?
Year's?
Like,
yeah. Not really. Actually, my favorite New Year's I had. There's been quite a few New Year's where there was like parties where just like family friends would come over, friend of parents would come over and then be like, "Oh, let's watch the ball drop and, consume alcoholic beverages. Woohoo."
yes.
But no, actually my favorite and most vivid New Year's memory, I believe was actually last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. It was really nice.
sleep?
No. Starting at about 8:00, I got on my computer on Skype and I started playing Team Fortress 2 with one of my pals. And about every hour, a new friend happened to get on. I guess everyone else just had the idea of getting online Christmas Eve. And before you know it, I had played like 3 different games with like 4 friends at once, and it was just a blast. And like there was no countdown.
Yeah.
We were just like, "Hey, what do you know? It's 2017, or hey, it's 2016." And it was
Hey.
nice. And then we all went to bed at 2:00.
Yeah, that sounds really fun, actually. This year, I'm actually going to be, like, most years, we have family friends over, and then we usually have a party. But this year, my youth group is doing this party, and it's going to be from 7 to 7. It'll be 12 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, have you ever heard of, like, a lock-in?
Yeah, I've heard of lock-ins, yeah.
So they've done lock-ins in the past, and they've been fun. But conveniently this year, it's the right days of the week, so it's going to be a lock-in for New Year's. So that'll be fun and miserable, because staying up for 12 hours sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. Honestly, if I'm ever going to stay up really late, I prefer it to be with, like, 2 or 3 really close friends. And usually we just all just basically fall into a state of like extreme social laziness where none of us care what we think, and we're just all really obnoxious, but we all care too little to like ask each other to stop or anything, and we just all are droning, but nobody wants to go to sleep either because they're still having a moderate amount of fun. And honestly, that's like the only situation I'd like to stay up. I don't like the idea of like, oh, we gotta stay up until this time because it's gonna be fun and we're gonna do this. I like to sleep. I like to, if I can, which I don't, but if I can, I like to go to bed early, get up early, get stuff done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think you're the same
agree
way.
with your statement.
Anyway,
early to bed, early to rise.
I like to.
I say.
I like to note these leg warmers are very comfortable.
I'm glad.
I might wear them tomorrow.
Wow. What's tomorrow? Oh, you have school tomorrow.
Yes, I'm going to my facility of education tomorrow. So.
That's what we call it in the U.S.
Right. Yeah. If you aren't from here, facility of education, FOE, FO.
Yes.
It's our foe. You know, I'm going to FO.
Yes.
Going to my FO.
So yeah, I just called it a school for the people who aren't. In the
That's
US.
all right. That's all right.
Yeah, that's what most other people know. But if you're out of the U.S., that's usually what it's called. So if anybody mentions FO or facility of education, then that's
actually that came before the word FO, FOE.
FO.
Because people just assumed. No, never mind. I don't know where this is going.
Yes, the word foe, meaning enemy or
enemy,
opposing force, actually came after the acronym for facility of education. No, it didn't. Okay. I feel like we're leading people astray.
That's all right.
Okay.
Nobody believes us. We aren't trusted.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so actually I've discovered that New Year's isn't a really big deal, but it is kind of fun, especially actually just staying up late with people who you really care about and are like really close with. It's really fun. So like I was driving home with from a big event. We were up at like 1:00 driving back, and like conversations are dramatically different at 1:00 in the morning.
Yes, they are.
So,
usually
they're like
either much less intelligent or much more genuine. Sometimes both.
Yes, but also everyone was laughing at everything, so that's
yeah,
also
because
fun.
everything's just hilarious.
Everything's hilarious. And I also made a joke about my family burning in hell, and everyone found that very funny.
Oh yeah, of course. Those are always good ones. I like that.
Those are the best jokes.
A little bit dark Christmas humor. I had a friend who made an art piece with Krampus, and I always like.
Oh gosh.
What?
Krampus is spooky.
Krampus? I like his
yes.
philosophy. He's like, well, if you're nice, Santa'll give you gifts. But if you're naughty, I'll just swing by and you know what? I'll take you away. And we'll have a happy fun time.
I'll take you away. I don't know. Krampus is an interesting holiday tradition. I don't know a whole lot about it.
Me neither. I forget. Is it like Celtic, I want to say?
I think it's Celtic or German.
I wish I was a more knowledgeable in cultures. Especially when
there was a film made about it in 2015.
Yes, there was. I don't hear anything about it. I'm guessing it was pretty mediocre.
Yeah, I would think that too.
Yeah. Question is, where do you put that kind of film? Just like Nightmare Before Christmas. Do you put it on Halloween? Do you put it on Christmas? Do you put it on Thanksgiving right in the middle? What do you do?
I came out December 4th.
Ah, that's good.
So, speaking of Nightmare Before Christmas, how do you feel about that film? Because I really like that movie.
I really like it too. Once again, like most people, I have a lot of respect for stop motion, and that movie also has a particular style to it that makes it also stand out from other stop motion films, unless you're counting. Hey, it's my telephone. Oh, what do you know?
Hey,
it's Santa. I'll be right back. All right. What was I saying? Nightmare Before
Hey.
Christmas. It's great. I was
Yes.
trying to say that
Great
it was
film.
original, but technically Tim Burton made other films that have very similar styles. I guess I just like it
The
because
Corpse Bride.
the music's nice. It's kind of become a massive icon at this point. So maybe I've just been brainwashed to think it's good. I've seen it twice.
Oh, I think it's great.
I've enjoyed it
I think
a
it's
lot.
really good. It's probably my favorite Christmas film. And it's debatable of whether it's a Halloween film or a Christmas film. So a lot of my actually, like, a few of my friends just watch it at both Christmas and Halloween. So, I mean, that's that problem solved.
There you go. Just cover all your bases.
Yeah, it's a really short movie, and it's really good. So I it's worth it.
Oh, totally, yeah.
So, yeah, I would actually highly suggest watching it if you haven't seen it already. The Corpse Bride is also one that I haven't seen yet, but I should probably get on that because apparently that's good
Me
too.
neither. I don't like the whole, like, you have to see this movie because it's Christmas. Have you seen Elf for the 6th time?
Oh my gosh, I have.
love Elf. Do you remember the time where he eats the cotton balls? Isn't that so silly?
How do you feel
Oh my
about the
goodness.
Elf? How do you feel about the film Elf?
Elf?
Because I honestly don't like it.
I'm sick of it. I think the premise is pretty funny, and the way they parody the stop motion Rudolph the Reindeer universe, I think is pretty hilarious. But
Yeah,
just like many films, other films like it, like Despicable Me, where I was forced to watch it upwards of 5 times, it stops being enjoyable entirely. It's just like, yeah, I see how that's supposed to be funny, but I'm done. I don't want to watch it anymore.
I never really liked it. Ever since I've watched it like the first time, I just didn't find it that enjoyable or that funny. And I don't know. I did really like the scene with the snowballs. That was funny and enjoyable. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really like Will Ferrell stuff most of the time.
Oh,
Cause,
interesting.
but there's a movie called Stranger Than Fiction, and he plays a more serious role, and he's very good in that, and I really like that movie. So I highly suggest checking that out.
Never heard
if
of
you
it.
haven't
I'm
heard
gonna
of
go check that out. Watch that on Christmas. Favorite Christmas flick.
It's not a Christmas movie at all, but it's really good. I would highly suggest it. Right, actually, I wanted to talk about Christmas movies because, okay, Nightmare Before Christmas is my all-time favorite Christmas movie, mainly because I haven't seen very many others, and because I don't really like the ones that I have seen. Like, I still haven't seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I haven't seen that yet.
Have you ever seen A Christmas Story? It's a holiday
No, I haven't.
classic. You haven't
Seen
lived
it.
until you've seen A Christmas Story.
I'm assuming you don't like it.
I've seen it twice. I think for the time, I think it was pretty original. But it's because basically it's inspired a bunch of Christmas tropes that are now unfunny and overused, and basically like, haha, get it? It was in the Christmas Story. Remember that? That's a funny one. I'm just like, yeah, I enjoyed the movie the first time I watched it, but I mean,
So you don't like the importance that society has given it?
no, I think it's
But you're
good that
fine
we
with the
set
film.
aside like movies to be like, this is important, and you can even say this is important for the Christmas season. This is important for, Halloween or whatever. But when there's this obligation to like know about it and like, I don't like. Yeah, I guess no. I guess when you say, I don't like the importance it still has on it and how it's still used as a marketing scheme, and people are still trying to beat it into the ground and be like, oh, I watch it every year, and I have this because it's inspired by a Christmas Story. I think I'm just being a Grinch at this point. I think there's not really much wrong with the film. I think it's a fine film.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, so I should probably get on that.
Actually, no, you don't need to get on that. It's fine. You're not
I
missing out.
do, because a bunch of people say I should watch it, so I should, right?
Not necessarily. I know people who still haven't seen a single Star Wars movie, and they seem like happy individuals, so.
They should get on that. Watch it.
Or not.
Also, have you realized that, most Christmas films are, most Christmas classics are actually pretty awful? like from a narrative, story-driven way.
Do you have any examples? I'm trying to think. I'm sure you're right.
Home Alone is not a great story. It's like, oh, he gets lost. Elf is kind of pretty inventive, but like, I don't know. They're kind of all bland.
Well, the worst is when they're predictable, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna pull the trope of if it's a comedy, it's like, oh, there's family and we don't like them, or
Yeah.
oh no, the Christmas tree is terrible. Oh, get it, haha.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Exactly.
Christmas is a good outlet for comedy because I know, especially in the U.S., everyone knows all of traditions, and as we've discussed before, some great places for comedy are from things that everyone understands. Like stereotypes. You could say that all those Christmas like jokes that have been used a million times are they work so well as comedy because everyone can identify with them. But that also means the same jokes will be made over and over, and I don't know. And then when you get into original Christmas movies, you watch it and you don't know if it's a Christmas movie because it's actually trying to be a good film. Anyway,
But
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think most Christmas films are just movies that people watch because they're good films because they're fun to watch, and I guess that's all that really matters, right?
Right, and if you can attach it with some nostalgia from a time in your life that was enjoyable, then all the better. And watch it as many times as you want.
Yeah, if you like a movie that's considered bad, that's fine. I don't really care. You can do that. I don't like that movie, but that means like The Room. The Room is apparently a terrible movie. I'm assuming you've heard of it, Tendo.
Oh yeah. I've seen it. It's great. But that's like a.
You've seen it? I still haven't seen it. I gotta watch that. But that's an awful film. But people love it, so I guess.
That's because
can
it's
you really
so bad.
call it a bad film?
I'm thinking when you say like bad movies that we like, I'm not thinking The Room where it's so bad it's good because it's hilarious.
I know.
I'm thinking
that's
like Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, rom-coms.
All Michael Bay.
Yeah, all Michael Bay films. Where it's just like you'll watch it once and you can be like, wow, that was cool. But wow, I don't remember any of those characters. I don't want to see it again. It is mostly CGI. Wow, okay, actually never mind. I didn't enjoy it that much. But in the moment, it got my blood pumping and I cared about it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least that's how it is.
Which
for me.
we've talked about that a lot in those podcasts so far. And you've mentioned the Transformers films a few times.
Probably 5 or 6. I know.
Yeah,
I've probably given the same description.
8 episodes that we've done.
All right, Noah, I got some polarized opinions, all right? And I like to share them, okay? And you know what? Sometimes it applies to Christmas, okay? Yeah?
Yes, Transformers always applies to Christmas.
Shh. You know what Transformers is for? It's for selling toys. You know what? You know what kids get in Christmas?
Toys.
Tablets. Mostly
I
electronic
guess
devices. Sometimes, I know 2 Christmases ago, about 50 million kids got those little BB-8 toys, and they all threw them away because they're all broken.
50 million?
I'm joking. I just made that number up.
I was like, wow, that's a lot, because those things were not super cheap.
I remember
they were
is
overpriced.
when you time your movies when you time it with the end of the year in December, like Star Wars, it's great for franchise, and you can make all the dolls you want. It's T-shirts, very nice. Make great Christmas gifts for people that you don't know very much about them, but they like Star Wars, so you can just swing by the Walmart and grab whatever merch is sitting in the front of the store for Star Wars that year. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, how'd you know? I'll be like, I know, it's Star Wars. I'm sorry, I just went on total tangent.
Yeah, it was. And okay, that's totally fine. Okay, so that wraps up our discussion because do you have anything else to say about Christmas?
No. I mean, there's always more to say, but summarized a lot of opinions. We went so far in our rambling that I reached Transformers again. So that always means it's a stopping point. It's like,
yes,
crud.
Once
Tendo brought up Star Wars
gotta
again.
Pull the plug.
That means he's getting really stale. He's lost all ideas.
Okay. Well, we hope you enjoyed our Christmas adventure. Join us again next time for I don't know. On that note, Tendo, take us out.
So there you are. You're walking down the busy streets. That's right. Christmas is close and everyone's doing their last minute shopping. There's snow flurries in the air. Just a little bit of snow. It's comfortable because you're wearing your nice big coat that you love the color of. And you look in the distance and you see some round shapes moving around frantically. And at first you think they're people, but as you get closer, you notice they're actually fruit. I'd almost say they're plums. You quickly realize that this is a dream about sugar plums, the same one you've had for the last 30 days. And so you pinch yourself, you wake up, only to see a different sight above your bed. There is Santa. He's beside your bed, but he's much taller than you, and you can see a surprised look in his eyes as you look up at him. It's clear you weren't supposed to be awake, and as you look down at your body, Santa has the bone saw right above your legs. Look back up and he says, "Merry Christmas."
We hope you did enjoy this episode of the Christmases of the... Let me start that over. We hope you did enjoy our Christmas... Let me try that again.